Four Caribbean countries named in the European Union's new list of tax havens. And in sport, the West Indies captain suspended for one test by the ICC. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, December 5th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Did you know that a strategy has been developed to help improve the region's education and human resources?
You didn't? Well, the HID strategy, as it is called, will guide CARICOM in how it delivers quality education and training to the people of the region.
The strategy has been crafted by a group of experts called the HRD Commission.
Consultations have been done across the region to get your input.
Do you know that none of us will be left behind?
The HRD strategy is important to all of us, students, parents, and employers. It will prepare the region, especially the youth, for the 21st century economy and society.
The HRD strategy, unlocking Caribbean human potential.
Four Caribbean countries were named today in a new list of global tax havens released by the European Union. Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia and Trinidad and Tobago were among 17 countries placed on the blacklist after 10 months of investigations by EU officials. EU finance ministers meeting in Brussels said the countries on the list were not doing enough to crack down on offshore avoidance schemes. Potential sanctions that could be enforced on countries on the list are expected to be agreed to in the coming weeks. The list includes a number of British overseas territories such as the Cayman Islands and Bermuda that were on a previous EU blacklist from June 2015. Now, complaints about the methodology of the last list saw it being scrapped and replaced with a new register. And this register was drafted by the European Council's Code of Conduct group, which is comprised of finance ministers from EU member states. The country's inclusion on the list is based on whether it gives preferential treatment to companies that enables them to move profits to avoid charges. Another 47 countries have also been included in a grey list of countries that are not compliant with EU tax standards but have committed to changing their rules. In Trinidad and Tobago now, action has been taken against 2 of 4 employees at the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation who've been fingered in the disappearance of over 8 million TT dollars that was intended to pay Virgin Atlantic Airlines for continued service to Tobago. Patricia Nicholson of CNews has the latest development.
Of the 4 people involved in the missing money scandal at the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, 2 are public officers. 1 other person is employed on contract and the 4th is employed on a month-to-month basis. These 2 individuals have been asked in the public's interest to cease reporting for duty with immediate effect. With regard to the public officers, the matter has been referred to the Public Service Commission for appropriate disciplinary action. The Chief Secretary said until advised otherwise by the Public Service Commission, the 2 public officers remain on duty at the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation. This action taken as monies which were intended to pay Virgin Atlantic Airlines for airlift arrangements were deposited into an incorrect bank account and subsequently withdrawn. The account was then closed. The matter was reported to the Fraud Squad. Chief Administrator Ray Sandy is in receipt of reports from all relevant employees at the division. Because of the seriousness and severity of the matter, the Chief Administrator has commenced disciplinary action against 4 people from the division. Virgin is yet to receive the payment.
A Jamaican attorney whose recent appointment to the Court of Appeal in Belize created much controversy has resigned. Justice of Appeal Franz Park sent a letter to Governor General in which he tendered his resignation with immediate effect. The Office of the Prime Minister said late yesterday that it was informed Justice Park made his decision in order to spare the court any exposure that a trial on the issue of his tenure would create. In October, a row developed in Belize regarding the Prime Minister selecting the Jamaican attorney to serve on the Court of Appeal. Park's selection was met with opposition because of questions regarding his qualifications as well as his past. It was claimed that he had not practiced law in the Caribbean since 1980, having been an attorney in the U.S. for more than 2 decades. Prime Minister Dean Barrow, who is a former law school classmate of Park's, had dismissed concerns raised by the Bar Association regarding the appointment. Following the judge's resignation, the opposition, People's United Party, said it was grateful that in the end Park demonstrated the moral fortitude, respect and regard for the court and the country, which Prime Minister Barrow did not. The opposition party, with support from the Bar Association, the Chamber of Commerce, unions and other stakeholders, had filed a legal challenge to Park's appointment that was scheduled for hearing next Monday, December 11. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. West Indies cricket captain Jason Holder will take no part in the second test against New Zealand starting Saturday after he was suspended by the International Cricket Council for a second minor overrate offence. The suspension will be for just one test. The ICC announced on Tuesday that the suspension comes as the Caribbean side was hit with a slow overrate penalty after being adjudged to be 3 overs short of their target during the opening test, which they lost on Monday by an innings and 67 runs in 4 days. Now, players are fined 10% of their match fees for every over their side fails to bowl in the allotted time, and the captain is fined double the amount. So while the players were fined 30% of their match fee, Holder was hit with a 60% fine. The 26-year all-rounder was also had a similar offence during the opening test against Pakistan in Jamaica back in April. The latest offence amounted to his second minor rate offence in a test within a 12-month period and resulted in his suspension. Veteran left-arm spinner Nikita Miller and all-rounder Riyad Emrit are the 2 surprises in the West Indies limited over squads announced early Tuesday for the tour of New Zealand. The 35-year-old Miller had been named in the one-day squad, while 36-year-old Emrit has been included in the T20 unit. Miller has played a single test and 46 ODIs, but has not played international cricket since the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Emrit, a powerful lower-order batsman and intelligent seamer, played a pair of ODIs 10 years ago, but has yet to represent the Windies in a T20 match. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.